He stood on a stage in Seattle, holding a plaque with our patent number engraved on it, and thanked everyone except me, the woman who built it with him at our kitchen table. I remember the way the room clapped, the way my ears rang, the way he said, "I couldn't have done this without my team," and somehow I wasn't part of that sentence. My name is Harper Bennett, and that was the moment I realized my husband had quietly erased me from my own life's work. But let me back up, because none of this makes sense without knowing where I started. And before I go any further, this one is for the women who have ever made themselves smaller so the man next to them could feel bigger. If you've ever watched someone take credit for something you poured your soul into, stay with me. I grew up in Eugene, Oregon, in a family where women were support beams. That's what my dad used to call us. The Bennett women hold everything up. My mom was a nurse who worked 12-hour shifts and still made pot roast on Sundays. My older sister, Laura, married her high school boyfriend and had 2 kids before 30. Holidays were loud, warm, predictable. The men carved the turkey. The women cleaned up. No one argued about it. There was this unspoken tradition in our family. You don't outshine your husband. You support him. You steady him. You make him look good. And I didn't question it. Not when I got my mechanical engineering degree from Oregon State. Not when I met Cole Harrison during a renewable energy networking event in Portland. Not even when he joked on our 3rd date, "You're the brains, I'm the visionary." I thought it was cute. Oh my God. If you've ever ignored a red flag because it was wrapped in a compliment, drop a comment. I swear we've all done it. Cole was charismatic, big smile, confident handshake. He could walk into a brewery and leave with 3 business cards and an invitation to someone's Identani, Hidden's Gavin. I was the one who stayed up until 2 a.m., running simulations. We started developing an adaptive wind turbine control system together about 2 years into our marriage. It was my algorithm, my code, my calculations, my refinements, but it was his investor pitches, his networking, his vision deck. At night, we'd sit at our scratched oak kitchen table, rain tapping the windows, the smell of coffee going cold between us. I'd scribble equations in the margins of yellow legal pads while he paced and talked about scaling, licensing, expansion. "Babe," he'd say, kissing the top of my head, "we're going to change the industry." I believed in that word. When we filed the provisional patent, I noticed something. My name was listed second. "Huh," I said lightly, trying to keep my tone casual. "Shouldn't it be alphabetical?" He didn't even look up from his laptop. "It doesn't matter. Investors respond better to a single-point person. You know how it is." I did know how it was. I knew that in rooms full of older men in fleece vests, Cole looked like leadership, and I looked like support staff. So I swallowed it. Years of that. Years of me refining the system while he took meetings. Years of him saying, "Harper handles the technical side," like I was an assistant instead of a co-creator. And then Emma started coming around more. Emma is my sister Laura's daughter. Freckles, messy ponytail, always smelling faintly like vanilla lip gloss and printer paper. She was 14 when she first asked if she could shadow Aunt Harper for a school project. The first time she sat at our table, she watched me code with wide eyes. "You built this?" she asked. "Your uncle and I did," I said automatically. She looked between us. "But you're the engineer, right?" I hesitated. Cole laughed. "Team effort, Em." She nodded slowly, but her eyes stayed on me. That was the first time I felt something twist in my chest. The second time Emma came over, she was 16. Cole had started traveling more for pitch opportunities. I was home alone most nights, refining version 3.7 of the system. She found me in my office, surrounded by schematics taped to the walls. "Aunt Harper," she said quietly, "Mom says it's good you let Uncle Cole lead. Men get weird when women are smarter." I froze. The room smelled like dry erase marker and dust. My computer fan hummed. Outside, rain streaked the window. "Is that what she said?" I asked. Emma shrugged. She just said, "It's important to make your husband feel big." There it was. The Bennett tradition. Support beam. Hold everything up. Don't outshine. Have you ever realized the younger girls in your family are being trained to shrink in real time? It's the most helpless feeling in the world. I smiled at her that day. I didn't correct it. And I hate that. The patent was officially granted the following spring. Only his name was on it. I found out by accident. A congratulatory email from an industry contact popped up on our shared desktop while he was in Denver. Congratulations to Cole Harrison on securing U.S. patent #11. I felt like the air had been sucked out of my lungs. I opened the USPTO filing. Inventor, Cole Matthew Harrison. No Harper Bennett. No co-inventor. Nothing. My hands were shaking so badly I had to sit on the floor. When he got home, I was calm. Scarily calm. Why isn't my name on the patent? I asked. He sighed. Like I was being dramatic. Harper, it was cleaner this way. Legally simpler. You know it's ours. Ours? But it's not legally ours, I said. He rubbed his temples. Don't make this a thing. We're married. That sentence. We're married. Like that erased everything. If you've ever been told you're overreacting to something that is objectively betrayal, tell me I'm not crazy. I didn't leave him that night. Or that month. Instead, I did something very un-Bennett of me. I called a lawyer. Her name is Claire Donovan. Irish-American, sharp eyes, calm voice. She smelled faintly of citrus and expensive paper when I walked into her office in downtown Portland. I brought my notebooks. Every dated page. Every saved file with metadata. Every email thread where Cole said, "Can you tweak the algorithm parameters?" Claire flipped through everything slowly. "Harper," she said finally, "this is your intellectual property." My throat tightened. "But my name isn't. Doesn't matter," she said gently. "Contribution determines inventorship, not marriage." I didn't cry. I just felt seen for the first time in years. The licensing deal came 6 months later, but not through Cole. Through me. Claire filed a correction of inventorship claim backed by overwhelming documentation. Simultaneously, she negotiated directly with a renewable energy firm in Northern California that had quietly reached out to me. After noticing my technical conference paper from years ago, Cole found out when he received a formal notice that the patent was under dispute pending correction. He stormed into the kitchen, face flushed. "What did you do?" he demanded. "I was slicing lemons. The citrus scent was sharp, clean. I protected my work," I said. "You're blowing this up over pride." "No," I replied softly. "Over truth. Emma's third appearance is the one that changed everything." She was 17. College applications spread across my dining table. She'd started dating a boy who liked to interrupt her. We were alone when she said it. "I got into the engineering program at UW, she whispered. "But I'm thinking of switching to business. Nate says engineering is intense, and if we stay together..." My chest physically hurt. "If you stay together," I repeated carefully. "What?" "He says relationships are easier when the guy leads." The rain outside was relentless that night. Gray Pacific Northwest skies pressing low. I saw my entire life flash in front of me. Support beam. Hold everything up. Don't outshine. I reached across the table and took her hands. "Emma," I said, my voice shaking. "I let someone put their name on something I built. I let them tell me it was simpler that way. And it cost me years of my own confidence." Her eyes filled with tears. "You are allowed to lead," I said. "You are allowed to be brilliant. Anyone who needs you smaller doesn't deserve you." That night, after she left, I signed the final paperwork. The licensing agreement transferred enforcement rights and revenue directly to me as co-inventor pending correction, which Claire was confident would be granted. It also froze any unilateral licensing Cole attempted. It was clean, legal, irreversible. Now, the return moment. The industry awards banquet where we started. Same hotel ballroom. Gold lights. Overly buttery chicken. That low murmur of networking energy buzzing like static. Only this time, I was on the program. Harper Bennett, co-inventor and lead systems engineer. Cole didn't know I'd been invited to speak. When I walked in, conversations faltered. I wore navy, structured, simple, my hair down, no apology in my posture. Cole was near the bar. He saw me, went still. I could see the calculation behind his eyes. I smiled politely and took my seat at the front. When they called my name, the room felt heavy and electric all at once. My heels clicked against the hardwood as I walked to the stage. I could smell wine and hotel carpet, and something faintly floral from the centerpieces. I adjusted the microphone. "Good evening," I began. My voice didn't shake. "Some of you know the turbine control system as Harrison Adaptive Flow." A pause. "It's now licensed under Bennett Harrison Adaptive Systems." A ripple moved through the room. I saw Cole's jaw tighten. "For years," I continued calmly, "I handled the algorithmic architecture and iterative modeling that made the system viable. And for years, I stayed quiet about that. You could have heard a pin drop. I'm not here to embarrass anyone, I said, and I meant that. I'm here because there are young women in rooms like this watching who need to see what shared and credit actually looks like. My eyes scanned the crowd, and there she was, Emma, front row. Laura must have brought her, her eyes wide, shining. I was raised to believe supporting someone meant standing behind them, I said softly. But support doesn't mean erasure. I let the silence stretch. The corrected patent will reflect both inventors. The licensing agreement has been executed accordingly. And moving forward, I'll be leading system development directly. No drama, no yelling, just fact. Cole didn't clap, but the room did. Afterward, Emma threw her arms around me so tightly I could barely breathe. I'm staying in engineering, she whispered into my shoulder. That was it. That was the real victory. The divorce came later. Quiet. Paperwork. No screaming matches. Turns out when financial control shifts, so does everything else. The final symbol? That original yellow legal pad from our kitchen table. I had it framed. Not the patent certificate. The messy pages. Coffee stains. My handwriting. My dates. Proof that I was there. Proof that I built it. Sometimes I run my fingers over the glass and remember the woman who thought love meant shrinking. It doesn't. It means standing side by side. Or walking away. If this story felt a little too familiar, if you've ever been the invisible architect of someone else's success, I see you. Subscribe to Her Untold Revenge for more stories like this, and send this to the woman in your life who needs the reminder. You are not the support beam. You are the foundation.